What's up, guys? Welcome back to Unqualified Critics. Got some quick news for you today. In this video, we are talking about a special edition NBA Jam. And this one's going to be divisive, I know it, but I covered the Supreme Cab, I covered the Steve Aoki cabinet, the Countercade. So I feel like I just honor bound, I have to cover this for you guys. But let me know below what you think, because I think a few of you probably will think this is cool. But my guess is a lot of you are going to hate it. I almost feel like this isn't for us. I almost feel like this limited edition cabinet, this crossover with a clothing brand called Chinatown Market. Not a brand I was familiar with. I looked into them a little bit for this video. It's basically like a minor league version of Supreme. It's sort of a hype brand. It's pricey. It's streetwear type stuff, whatever that category means. And you can see they've got loud designs, you know. And so they've partnered with Arcade1up, and part of this effort that they have, this concerted effort to collaborate with other brands and get special editions of their cabinet out into the world. I have two thoughts on this. On one hand, I'm going to defend this. On the other hand, you know, my view is I don't think this is the best time for them to be doing that. It is what it is, but I'm just here to commentate. So, you know, how am I going to defend it? Well, a lot of you guys are going to look at this and say it's hideous, and you're not going to be wrong. But like the Supreme cabinet, I would put this up in my basement, you know? I mean, I don't know if I'd buy it. The price on this, by the way, is $599. Pretty steep for an NBA Jam. But again, I don't hate it. It's not that bad. And I can totally see streetwear culture with an NBA Jam cabinet the same way I could see streetwear culture with a Mortal Kombat cabinet. These are kind of cooler pop culture type arcades. So I kind of dig the fact that this is NBA Jam. I don't hate the look of it. I don't love it either. I mean, take a look at the 18 million Chinatown logos that are on the front of this cabinet. But also, more importantly, you know, if this is a chance to broaden the audience, then cool. Because if you go to HypeBeast.com, which is one of these media outlets that cover brands like Supreme and Chinatown and these other brands, they aren't normally going to talk about Arcade1up, because why would they? They're talking about streetwear. They're talking about collectibles. They're not talking arcades. Except when Arcade1up does a crossover. Now, I don't know how big this audience is, but clearly Arcade1up has decided, hey, this audience is big enough and different enough from our core audience that we really want to branch out. And guys, there's nothing wrong, in my opinion, with wanting to branch out. I know a lot of people got upset when John D talked about primary and secondary markets on his interview a month or two ago, which, by the way, is he coming off hiatus soon? I wonder where that stands. A lot of people got offended by that. I really didn't. I mean, they've got to grow their market. They don't want to just be a niche offering. And if they didn't have that ambitious take over the world attitude, they wouldn't have paved the way for At Games Legends, Legends Pinball, all those Legends products, or the iArcade. You know, At Games might still be making crappy plug and plays. iArcade might not exist or might not have generated the excitement that they did. I don't know for sure those things are true. We're just looking back into history and I'm speculating. But the point is, I feel like you got to take the good with the bad on this one. Arcade1up defined an entirely new market. It is very natural that those same people are going to want to aggressively grow. The Chinatown Market cabinet's fine. If you want a regular NBA Jam cabinet, you can go out and get it. Now, you know, you're not forced to buy this. Where I don't think this is the best idea right now, I feel it's a little tone deaf, given people want existing cabinets, existing products that have been announced, the mainline product lines, and they feel like they can't get it. They feel like they can't place their orders, and it's not feel like, they literally, in a lot of cases, you can't just go and buy a Marvel versus Capcom. You can't just go buy an Attack from Mars. There are a lot of Arcade1up products that people are really excited for that they're not able to get right now. And you'll see some of those comments on Twitter. People are going to talk about, hey, this is just a distraction, right? And that's a fair point. People will talk about, give us the stuff that we want. We don't care about this. We don't know what it is. There's actually a lot of talk about pinballs in here. So, you know, when you're doing this as a marketing choice, yeah, it's a good idea to branch out. But you've got to take your existing audience with you, or do it in a way that doesn't anger your existing audience. And if they had paired this with an announcement, hey guys, for all the hype beasts out there, we got this. And for everyone else, guess what? We're ramping up shipments of these couple cabinets. Expect, and I'm just using this as an example, but expect Attack from Mars pre-orders or even orders at arcade1up.com within a couple weeks. expect Marvel versus Capcom, whatever it might be. It's the fact that you can't get that messaging from these guys and then they're busy announcing new products. It's going to offend people. It doesn't really offend me, but I can understand why the comments are inflammatory. So if you're going to do this big major marketing move, kind of edgy, kind of cool, why do it if it makes everybody angry? I think there has to be a way to do this and pair it with better product availability, or wait until you have better product availability and do this. Because let's face it, in a world where shipping containers are limited, you only have so much cargo capacity that you can get from these ships. This is taking up space. So for anyone who says, hey, this doesn't detract, from their other products, well, you're kind of wrong. If we're waiting on those products, if the shipping is the constraint, and I believe it's one of the constraints right now, even if manufacturing is one of the constraints, getting enough of those monitors, getting the MDF board, all of that. Because we know materials have gone way up in price. I'm looking at building a house right now, and let me tell you how much materials have gone up in price. It's awful. Hopefully it changes, but nobody seems to know when and if it's going to change. But if you're doing all that, if all that is true, maybe slow down a little bit on the special editions for a few minutes and let people breathe. Just my 2 cents. I don't hate this. I wouldn't even mind having it, but it is $599. So no, I don't think I'm going to buy it. I'm going to stick with my regular NBA Jam. What do you guys think? I know this is divisive, so don't hit dislike just because you hate this cabinet, please. You can do whatever you want. But if you enjoy the video, do hit the like button. It would mean a lot. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'm going to talk to you soon. Hey, consider hitting that join button to support the channel, and thanks so much for watching.